The disappearance of a person can shake an entire nation, sparking fear, hope, and relentless determination. Some cases grip the public's attention like wildfire, leaving behind haunting questions and an urgent desire for answers. Today, we dive deep into one such real crime story, inside the disappearance that sparked a nationwide search, a mystery that tested the limits of law enforcement, family resilience, and public involvement. This is not just a story about someone vanishing. It is about how a community and a country came together, how hope was clung to like a lifeline, and how some disappearances leave marks on history forever. The story begins in a small town where life moved quietly and predictably. It was a place where neighbors knew each other by name, and children played freely in the streets. The missing person was someone familiar to many, a young adult with a promising future, known for kindness and ambition. One ordinary day, they left their home with plans to meet friends, but never returned. Their absence was noticed quickly, but what followed was anything but ordinary. When someone disappears suddenly, the first hours are the most critical. Families immediately become frantic, desperate to piece together any clue that might explain what happened. In this case, the family contacted local authorities, who launched an initial search focusing on the last known location. But as hours passed with no sign, the situation escalated rapidly. The missing person's phone was turned off. No one saw them after a certain time, and personal belongings were left untouched at home. All these details painted a chilling picture. This was not a simple case of a late night or a short trip gone wrong. Something was deeply wrong. Law enforcement faced an uphill battle from the start. In missing person cases, time is always against the searchers, and every minute counts. The initial search radius expanded from the neighborhood to nearby woods, abandoned buildings, and even waterways. Canine units were called in, aerial drones were deployed, and dozens of volunteers joined the effort. It became clear this was not going to be a routine missing person case. News outlets caught wind of the story, and soon it was on the front page of local newspapers and trending on social media. A nationwide search had officially begun. This level of public attention is a double-edged sword. On one side, it brings in much-needed resources and new eyes on the case. Tips flood in from strangers miles away. Every lead is pursued, and the pressure on authorities intensifies to deliver answers. On the other hand, the surge of misinformation, false reports, and rumors makes the investigation more complicated. The family is caught in the eye of the storm, hopeful for any piece of good news, but devastated by every dead end. The emotional toll is immeasurable. One of the most gripping aspects of such disappearances is how the community rallies. Candlelight vigils are held, posters go up on every lamppost, and strangers become allies in the fight to bring the missing person home. Local businesses donate supplies, psychics offer their insights, and social media campaigns flood the internet with pleas and updates. This shared hope creates a powerful bond, but also highlights the deep fear underneath. What if this person is never found? Amidst the growing tension, law enforcement discovers a critical clue that changes the direction of the search. It could be a witness who saw a suspicious vehicle, a piece of clothing found near a remote trail, or surveillance footage from a nearby store. Every discovery, no matter how small, is a beacon of hope. The investigation shifts from a wide, general search to a more focused, strategic operation. Specialized teams are brought in, including forensic experts and profilers, working tirelessly to piece together the puzzle. Engage for a moment and imagine the uncertainty that grips the family during this period. Every lead brings hope, but also anxiety. The mind races through every possible scenario, from the best case to the worst. The media attention can be overwhelming, but it also reminds the family they are not alone in their fight. Sometimes the missing person's story becomes a symbol, a reminder of vulnerability that unites people across different backgrounds and beliefs. The nationwide search eventually leads to breakthroughs in understanding the circumstances surrounding the disappearance. Investigators uncover hidden connections, perhaps a troubled relationship, a recent argument, or someone who had been watching the missing person. These revelations complicate the narrative, transforming a simple search into a complex criminal investigation. Questions arise about motive, opportunity, and potential suspects. The public waits anxiously for every update, knowing that the truth is inching closer but not fully revealed. At this stage, the story often takes darker turns. As the mystery unfolds, some suspects come under intense scrutiny. Alibis are checked and rechecked, motives analyzed, and histories dug into. The disappearance sparks debates on issues like safety, mental health, and community responsibility. It reminds everyone how fragile life is and how quickly everything can change. Even years later, such cases linger in collective memory, haunting reminders of unresolved pain. But what makes a disappearance resonate nationwide? It is the universal fear of losing someone without explanation, the desperate desire for closure, and the complex emotions wrapped up in every unanswered question. Families of missing persons become accidental advocates, raising awareness about safety and pushing for stronger laws and resources to prevent future tragedies. Their courage often turns personal loss into a movement, demanding change from institutions that sometimes fall short. Over time, the investigation either finds resolution or remains a cold case that challenges future detectives. Sometimes, the missing person is found alive, their story unfolding in unexpected ways. A runaway, a victim of crime, or someone with lost memories. Other times, the search ends with tragic discoveries, sparking sorrow but finally providing answers. In rare cases, disappearances remain a mystery, fueling theories and speculations for generations. This disappearance story also highlights how technology shapes modern investigations. From GPS tracking to social media analysis, law enforcement now has tools that did not exist decades ago. Yet, even with advanced tech, human intuition and community involvement remain critical. It shows that while science advances, empathy and collaboration are what ultimately drive progress. Before concluding, consider the broader lessons from such cases. They teach vigilance, never ignoring when someone goes missing, no matter the circumstances. They remind us of the power of community, coming together to protect one another. They expose flaws in systems, pushing reforms that improve search protocols and victim support. Above all, they reveal the resilience of those left behind, whose lives are forever changed, but who carry hope as fiercely as ever. In the end, disappearances like this are not just about a person vanishing. They are about the ripple effect on families, communities, and even entire nations. They are about the intersection of mystery, tragedy, and determination. The search becomes more than a hunt for one individual. It becomes a reflection of society, its strengths, weaknesses, fears, and hopes. The nationwide search sparked by this disappearance was a testament to humanity's capacity to unite in the face of uncertainty. It challenged law enforcement, tested families, and engaged a country. Even now, it reminds everyone watching why such cases matter so deeply, why no disappearance should ever be ignored, and why the quest for truth is a battle worth fighting. Would you believe that some disappearances led to changes in laws protecting vulnerable people, or that community efforts have saved lives after countless hours of searching? The story we discussed today is just one among many, but it highlights the powerful impact one case can have far beyond its immediate circle. The unknown can be terrifying, but it also fuels the most profound human response: never giving up. That is the heart of every search, every investigation, and every plea for answers. This is why disappearances continue to grip the public imagination, because they reveal something fundamental about who we are and how we respond when one of us is lost. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and never underestimate the power of a community united by hope. Real crime stories like this one are not only about darkness, but also about the light that shines brightest when everything is at stake.